GT Holidays presents the Galatta Plus Mega Malayalam Roundtable 2023 hospitality partner Holiday Inn Kochi. Holiday Inn Kochi has a lot of exciting offers for Christmas, so do come and enjoy here with your family.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.
Join the team. Which values you and your thoughts? Hiring now.
What I found in Malayalam audience, which I can't understand them in one level. They will enjoy, one Vijay's film, one Allu Arjun's film, or a Rajinikanth film. They will give full heart. One Malayalam actor goes out of their expectation. They will just kill it. They will not go. They will not accept.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Galatta Plus Malayalam Roundtable. Let's just start with one just fun round of questions, which is like one or more movies that really worked for you this year. And I'll begin myself. I saw a lot of films, but I think one standout film for me this year was Nanpagal Nerathu Maikam, Lijo's film. It really stuck with me. Something really was very special about that film. So anyone else?
No, there are many films, of course. Apart from the the indie space or the festival space, if I get mainstream, I really liked RDX because it was very honest to its core, very honest in that sense. The filmmaker had the conviction of what he's doing, and everybody had the same conviction on the location, and they made a film out of that with the real essence without losing any other giving it directly to the audience. They even just to add to a point, to make an action film, to make it work to the theatres, you need to show what happens before the action,
right.
And what is the emotion, core emotion for the action, and then what is happening, what is the culmination for that. So that was really explained well in that film.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I liked it a lot. RDX was in terms of commercial aspect, I liked it. There are lots of other films also.
Right.
Personally, as a theatrical viewer, I liked RDX.
Right.
I will come later.
Okay.
I just have to
there are a
recollect
lot of
some
films,
movies.
There's so many films that I liked, but talking from a commercial perspective, I really enjoyed Kanu Squad.
Yeah, that is also.
I think, of course, Mamuka is in his peakest form, and that's something we are all enjoying. But Kanu Squad stood out to me because of the way things were portrayed. There are so many things that can be so voyeuristic in a perspective, especially when it comes to commercial film. I feel, again, as Mahesh sir said, it's all about getting into the core of the emotion, and you're trying to find the culprit. There is this entire journey. Sushin has done this fabulous work, but in the end you're connecting with that character because you want to find out why or who did this to that girl. That is also, like how in RDX you're fighting for the child and that emotion. Similarly, so it's very important to connect to the audience and also stand technically so good. So Kanu Squad was also fun.
Was nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed that film. Yeah.
For me, I liked Romancham and then 2018. That is, but Kannur Squad I didn't watch actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so then
You're the one person in Kerala who do not watch Kannur.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. So, because Romancham, I felt it was a different movie, and I enjoyed it a lot in the theatre. I watched it in the first day itself. Then 2018 means it's like emotions. It's an incident which happened, and
right.
Most of the people faced it. So we were very connected to that movie. So I like that.
Yeah. Before I come to the other people, what is it about the Malayalam film industry that we find actors so willing to come together in projects where they have relatively minor parts to play, even though they're all stars in their own right? I mean, you don't find it that much in other industries.
Correct.
You find a term called the multi-starrer, but the true multi-starrers happen here, where like in 2018, there are so many big names there.
Yeah.
Each person is a hero or heroine in their own right. How is it possible only in this industry? Are you all just such good friends that you just say, let's do this, or?
I think I am more apt to answer that question because I have been part of so many so-called multi-starters from my initial days or from the Traffic days,
Right.
to say so.
Right.
Traffic was there, Virus was there, 2018 was there. So all these movies, there is one common thing that binds actors. That excitement part is there, and something new that they can do, they can attempt, they can portray. That things, that gives the trigger point to attempt for or try out different combinations or different characters or a different storyline. So I think for an actor that excites the most. That excitement factor plays a major role in joining hands with like-minded persons, because for them cinema is the priority, not just their screen space or screen time. That doesn't matter. If they have a wonderful character, if the screen space is less, but if they can be part of a good movie, I think that matters most for all the actors. I'm not talking about the stars. But I think nowadays actors are stars.
Right.
I think that scenario has changed to that level, and that's quite appreciative.
Right, right. Your turn.
What my
Yeah, to tell you.
best of the Malayalam films?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
What did you like?
I don't know. I mean, I might mix up the years. I don't know.
Right. Just tell me something.
Out of the recent Malayalam films that I saw, Puru stuck with me a lot.
Right. That was last year, I think, if I'm not
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Not because these two are sitting here. I really enjoyed Minal Murali, and I laughed my heart out on your film, Ennathan Kasur. No, I thought it was quite like a Wes Anderson kind of a Malayalam takeoff. So I've not seen RDX. I saw a little bit of it, but I haven't managed to finish it. So there's a lot of. I think what makes Malayalam cinema stand out is the writing.
Right.
And I don't think apart from Mammootty and Mohanlal, nobody consider any of the lot who are in front of the camera as stars. They are the ones who came from the lineage of Prem Nasir, Madhu. Then we had, when they were not there, then we had Mammootty, Mohanlal. Everybody else is together because of, I think they love cinema.
Nice.
I think every small things, every little thing that is put out excites them, and that's why they're together. So when you say multi-star, they're not multi-star. They're like all of them who are been in front of the camera for so many years. They have their own, visibility. Now they've come together because they just love it.
Right.
Look at my film. I have like huge number of people.
Right. Your Otta has Arjun Ashokan, it has Asif Ali,
Indrajit,
Indrajit, yeah.
Satyaraj, Rohini, and from Hindi we have Adil, Divya Datta. So everybody just came together just because of the love of it. So I think that's what binds us together,
Right.
especially Malayalam films.
Yeah, and you're in a good position to look at it because you worked in productions from across.
Yeah.
And not just here but also abroad. And
Like for example, if a film like Babel, if like Brad Pitt has to do a film like Babel, the script goes to him, there'll be a note that's saying Oscar worthy. Then they look at it.
Oh, there's actually a note called Oscar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like, it's an Oscar worthy script. So they look at it. Then their money, their agents, nothing of those sort comes into it. They do it because it's, like you said, actors have become stars, no? We never consider stars as good actor. And if a star, a certain like big star, does a good acting, we would clap it. He's done so good, But across the world, it's not like that. Every star star is again a term that we all have come up with.
Yeah.
They're all very good actors in their own terms. Be it Brad Pitt, be it Angelina, be it anybody you take, any name you take. They're all great actors, then they're stars. It's somehow when it came to India, and of course the 70s, when they move out of the studio system, that's when this whole thing has come up. Amitabh Bachchan is purely responsible for it, It's such a huge figure when, say, everything in Hollywood is counted, no? Like one page of the script is cost this much. Then who is the actor who can give us the double, like who is equivalent to $1 equivalent to $3 or $5, it goes like that. So when it goes to a big actor, it's of course like you can't spend so much money. Then that's a note that goes with it. So why would Brad Pitt do a film like Babel, for example?
Yeah.
I'm just taking it as an example, So it's that. Here that's not the case. It's like if Basil is doing a film tomorrow, if he calls me, I would just go, leave everything and go. Same goes with everyone else. I don't think why would I approached him for the role that Indrajit is doing, because I saw Yonathan Keswar and I was just going gaga about it, and I have to get him somehow. So I ran after him. He was elusive. He's gone here, there, and all that.
Like that.
But he was busy. So I know that when he said this is my situation, then I know if it's not, that's not the situation. I was also too late to go to someone like him. So that's what. We are all together in it.
Right.
That's why, last 10 years has been Malayalam cinema's golden period, I would say.
Right. Would you say it's more of a golden period than the 80s?
80s had a different texture to it.
Right.
80s, I would say, was a time for revivalism. Television came, Hindi films came. They all were bombarding. They were like bambooing all the, sorry for the term, all the regional cinema. And there, of course, the NFDC, the government of India has set up NFDC, and there were a lot of independent filmmakers who were like real thinkers who wanted to take Indian cinema further. So NFDC has been primarily the reason why the revivalism has happened in the 80s.
Right.
Here, that's not the case.
Right.
This is purely people.
Independent producers.
Especially Kerala. Independent producers. Because everyone who is making cinema in Kerala, apart from few, I would say everybody is like fascinated by it. Like, they were here, they saw Malayalam films, they saw Malayalam poetry, they read it. We had the only state in this country where we had cassettes were sold of poetries. Every nook and corner of Kerala used to play poetries on a cassette player, and they used to sell things because there were like people assembled. They were like film tracks, for example. We call it Shabdarega. Film tracks were played in every junction so that they could have some business. And Kerala is the only place. So we are first in many things. So literature has been a very, very good and great aspect of it. Like, let me ask you, what is Hindi cinema anything to do with Hindi literature?
Not really, no.
Nothing. Mainstream Tamil cinema has anything to do with Tamil literature? Very little bit.
Now and then, yeah.
Very little bit.
Yeah.
Malayalam cinema? Everything. They are all serious writers in their own terms. They may not be writing like they may not be writers like the way they would do like poets and authors, but they are writers in their own terms. They have developed, screenplay to a great extent. But it is still rooted, very, very much rooted in Malayalam literature. I mean, especially regional cinema. You can see that reflections in Marathi cinema. You can see that in Assami films. There are very few, new Punjabi cinema.
Yeah.
Very rooted in Punjabi literature, So you move away from your literature, you have a problem.
Yeah.
In time, you will end up having problems.
Right.
Then it has to come back to, in the Malayalam cinema of the 90s had the same problem. We were comedies and, we call it Tattubolippan cinema. I don't know what is, how else can I interpret it. The 90s, 90s and 2000 and that was the case. Like 15-20 years we went through that phase, comedies and those kind of stuff. Then the industry has to come back because it has eventually, it can only survive with the love of the people.
Right.
And if we can't catch up with the fascination of the people, we can't.
Basil,
Oh, yeah.
now it just looked like it just woke out of like
No, I
wow.
was just listening to him, like,
Yeah,
like, so much of
agreeing
things to say.
everything, agreeing
Yeah,
with everything.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I'm not going to ask you when you're making Minnamurli 2. So, but I'm not going to ask you what you're doing now, but just tell me what movies you like this year.
For me, it was like, for the entire industry, it was a very tricky space actually. Before COVID, there was some kind of trend or some spectrum happening in movies, and during COVID changed, and it, OTT, like that space, you got started thinking about this closed space, small scale films, and then after that thought process, the movies that came out of that thought process came out post COVID, and so some backlogs films are coming out these days, and small scale, big scale, so it's a mix of everything happening, that COVID, that transition state of that post COVID space. So not all movies were exciting enough to bring people to the theaters, especially in this age people want more theatrical experience than since there is OTT and also it's a mix of everything. So that's a very tricky space. But these movies like Romanjam, as everyone have said, Romanjam, 2018 especially, and of course RDX were the three movies which I really enjoyed watching it in theater. Like especially 2018, which was like a big celebration festival of, even though it's a very hardcore drama of like survival drama, but it was like something very relatable to every Malayali, every
Right, yeah,
Keralite, everyone have faced something of that sort. And the first thing, like when the director said he is going to make a film on floods, he was like, okay, it's very, you'll sound like floods, okay, the entire Kerala is flooding and how you are going to make a movie out of it. It's very tricky to do that. But the way he have pulled out that film in a very closed that story world, and he created a tank and all those efforts he have put in to bring such a film in a space in a Kerala, that was like outstanding. That was the first thing which made us like the film, like the effort to pull out such a film in our restricted environment, to pull out something like that. That was the first thing. Of course, then the actors came out together, like Tobino, Chackochan, Nasif, all these actors came out together to support some kind of film to bring out into a like industry hit kind of a space. So that film really excited. And also RDX, something like which everyone have said, like you are dealing with the basic human emotions,
Right.
like a family, you are dealing with the family after all, like three youngsters, like they are also like martial arts specialists, but the root emotion is family.
Right,
Especially when the chain is snatched out of the kid, you'll feel like kill him. That's there, that's what gripping you towards the till the end. It's basic, actually, it's very basic storytelling, basic, but he was very he was rooted to his basics. He was not deviating anything else. It was just doing the basics right, and the film just worked.
Right. No, and let me tell you, one of the, we keep talking so much about mass moments and audiences enjoying mass cinemas and all that. One of the best mass moments this year was when Babu Antony comes at the at the end, because you've built up that character behind, like just like Mahesh said, it's not like a fight is valuable when there's a build up to it, or a character is doing something. And when Babu Antony comes at the end to kind of fight for them, it's such a goosebump raising like a moment, and of course with what he stands for and all that. But just even as a pure narrative, that was just such a well done moment. It was not just like some, oh, I'm just going to give the audience something, it was like really written into the space, and that really worked for me. So you've been very silent. Please
No,
talk.
I just want to be maybe like brutally honest about certain movies, like so-called movies that brought the crowd. I mean, like packed the theaters, be it 2018 or RDX or Romanjam. All these movies were unexpected hits, to say the truth. There were a lot of bigger movies which came before or along with them, but these movies were really surprise hits. Even for 2018, when Jude came up with this idea, even if I am a part of it, I was a bit apprehensive, because how could he pull off such a big thing? How will it fare in the theaters? Because we have seen it, we know how the movie will go, what is the climax thing. Everything is predictable. Maybe there are cliche sequences as well in all these most of the movies, but all those sequences were really appreciated, accepted by the audience. They clapped, they cried, they connected with the emotions and the sequences, all these things. So even if you try out very entirely different kind of making or thoughts and ideas and put it in the big screen, if it doesn't connect with the audience, then that's it, you're stuck there. There's a full stop there. But there are certain emotions that even which we can say it might be nostalgic or cliche things, but that still works in theaters. The mass audience comes, they enjoy it. They enjoy it in that kind of emotion that it demands, whether it's romance or it's a very heart-piercing sequence, very thrilling things, fight sequence, everything. So all sorts of emotions which can entertain the audience in the theaters are accepted, in spite of their what kind of like marketing, everything, what all things, the noise that you make. the ultimate noise is made by the audience. The word of mouth is the best publicity that's happened, and it's a good thing. It's a very good thing because we know we came to understand what kind of movies can work out, but we can't predict what kind of movies will work. We can't predict because we expected some like one person who had so much of experience in the film industry was saying that he quoted this movie will tick the right boxes and the audience will come and rock the theaters. All these movies he gave a hit list prior to the release of those movies, but none of them fared well in the box office. So that's the thing. No one can guarantee which movie is going to work out.
Right.
We give our 100% effort. We give our full on. We are with the movie. We do it with so much passion. We give it so much effort. But ultimately, that all doesn't count if it doesn't work in the theaters for the audience.
Right.
So I think even the cliches will work. Even if the so-called, if I'm an actor who tries to do different movies, different kind of thoughts and movies, ideas and characters, if I see a cliche sequence in a movie, I might wonder, will it work out in the theaters? But it is working in the theaters. So that's the case because no one is 100% sure. No one is very calculative or very correct about what is going to happen in the theaters. Mass psychology is entirely different.
Right.
It's something which happens with a snap of a finger on that moment when it comes in the theaters.
Right. But just to finish what we started, pick one or two movies of the year.
Lots. All the movies that these guys
Right.
told, even including my movies. Romancham, I saw it in theaters, in OTT. But the thing is, I didn't like it the first time. But later on, when I watched it along with my family, I enjoyed it better. So that's what I said. The mass psychology is entirely different. If we are sitting and watching alone, sometimes that movie won't work for you. But if you are with some people who enjoys the movies, then that's an entirely different scenario, entirely different mindset. Then I started enjoying the movie, and I have been like going on in a loop watching Romancham. Even Jai Jai Hai was very entertaining for me.
Yes.
Enna Thangai Suru was also entertaining for me. I saw Addicts and called ma'am and told her. So yeah, I'm more into. I'm a very ordinary cinema viewer.
I think you're underestimating yourself because you have an instinct for choosing. At least in the past few years, you're choosing extraordinarily interesting
I'm not
films.
choosing. I'm going after them.
Right, right. But that means you're choosing, right? Because like this year, one of the films I really liked was Chaver.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. The visual language. It was a very interesting film, and you were like, again, part of an ensemble. It was not. Yes, you were kind of the central character, but again, it was not only you. I mean, and to somehow. Over the years, you'd built up this soft image, right? And then suddenly to see you like this, holding your leg, it's bleeding, and then you're like, kind of, it's different. So, do you think one way for an actor, that's just for you as well, and of course the actor in our midst here, is one way to stay relevant today is to keep doing different things? Because, to go back to what Resul said, who's a star? A star is basically somebody we've given a certain position, we love their movies, we want them to keep doing the things that we love. That is the difference usually given between a star. Whereas an actor star is somebody who's also we love, but the point is every movie they do very different things. So there's always been a traditional difference between a star actor and an actor star. A person who's a first a star and then an actor, and then a person, because a lot of people have lost their acting, how do I say, range after becoming a star, because now the audience wants them only in that limited space to see them. Is what you're doing a conscious thing that happened?
It's a very conscious effort from my side because I have enjoyed the peak of stardom from my first movie itself, like 27 years back with Aniyati Prabhu. So I was just thrown into the film industry and given the tag of a romantic hero. And some movies worked out, some others didn't. And I was not keen to be an actor in my initial days. So after that, even I got bored of the kind of movies and characters I have been doing. So even though I enjoyed my stardom, the fire was missing. I was just getting bored about seeing myself in the same appearance, same kind of movies, things like that. So there was no variety to spice up my life in movies. So so I just took a
She
break.
has a joke that she doesn't want to share with the rest of us.
Sorry. Naughty thoughts. Anyways, so I took a break, and when I came back, I was lucky to have people like VKP, Mahesh, along with me. We started off with Gulumal, who was just like a fun thing to start off. But then traffic happened. A lot of movies like that. I try to change my appearance, the kind of movies, the kind of characters that I have been doing. So then things started happening. People came with different kind of storylines, different kind of ideas and characters. So and I just tried to give my more than 100% to it. And there were some situations where, when a story came up or when a character came up which I was not comfortable, I would first keep myself away from it. But then I understood that's the point where I should try it out.
Can you give an example of a movie like that? Where
Because
you were
in initial days, I was very adamant in not changing my appearance at all.
Okay.
My hairstyle, my mustache, nothing. You shouldn't touch it at all. But then I changed. You can see me in any different kind of appearances, which even I can't recognize myself actually for Naya too. Me and my mother was watching the movie when it was premiered in OTT. So when my visual came, only after 10 seconds she realized that it was her son on screen. So that's the kind of, it's more than an award for me.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to achieve. So I am just enjoying the part. That character was entirely different to what I was in my real life character. It was a police character and I had to be with the tug of war team, which was a professional team. So I had to look natural among those guys. I had to bulk up myself physically in every way, change myself in my appearance, attitude, behavioral patterns, body language, everything. So a set of good talents around me helped me a lot. The scriptwriter, the director, the co-actors who has acted with me, all these factors, mold me to be in that character. I do believe in a process, I do believe in a method, but ultimately what I think is that when you come up with this makeup, when you are in the set, when you are with your co-actors, all these things contribute to you being the character. Right. And that has played wonders for me. And right now I am enjoying that uncomfortable scenario these days.
and it shows.
Yeah.
Rajisha?
Sir, I think whether we are an artist or behind the camera, whether we are a technician, we are always giving our 110% to everything we do because we love cinema. But I think it's also important that you stay relevant for so long that you can keep trying and keep making mistakes and keep making wonders happen. So, I also personally want to do different things and I have been trying. So I started off my career with a film called Andragarkin Vellam, where I was this ideal girlfriend.
It's a lovely film.
Yeah, there is this beautiful romance
one
and
of the
all.
most
And this year
beautiful
I did a film called Madhur Manohara Moham, where I'm in multiple relationships.
Yeah.
So it's something you hardly see. And I wanted people to not see Ellie. Ellie was the character of Andragarkin. Not see her anywhere when I do a film like this. Or I tried my maximum to do different we did a film together. I tried my max to do different shades of characters.
Even Kolla was quite...
I'm trying, but some may work, some may not work. But why are you trying? Because you want to keep doing good stuff for the audience.
Right.
And I feel like Malayali audience, to an extent, they are so sensible, they're so aware, they're so updated, that they are always one step ahead of you. You have to keep running to match up to their level of sensibility and what they need. So like how they are saying, when a film like RDX is about to come out, we from in the industry, we don't know how it's going to fare because it's a proper action commercial film. And we have been watching, like he said, during the COVID OTT phase, you're watching Nanpagal Nertha and films like this, and we are like, RDX, when it's gonna come, how are people? And then they accept it, and we are like, okay, so now the audience wants this, so you try that. But also, you try things from the literature, like how Resul sir said. So I think it's about doing everything and praying to God that audience will accept it. Yeah.
How did this film come about for you? What made you say, I need to direct something now?
Oh, that's been there in my mind
For a long time.
That's why you went to film school. I mean, I want to die as a feature filmmaker, even if I'm a bad one at it. That is my all-time dream. So, and other journey, I took that journey, it happened, whatever happened, you all know me because of that, but that's a different matter.
And you
I
just, by
always
the way, you
want to,
just won an Oscar.
and I've been trying, I've been trying to make a film since 2014, and I think I had a great script, and I had a great actor who was in it. Then fag we are going into production, then he sensed there is something wrong in it. Like, probably that's when he got the script exactly. So he chickened out. Then, in Hindi cinema, that then it just goal. Then I said, this thing happened. COVID happened. And I was not supposed to direct this movie. I was supposed to produce it. So I wanted to do, like, something came up, and OTT did a very good thing to Hindi cinema. They just realized there are other cinemas exist in India, and everybody started watching other films. So, and acknowledged the existence of the other. So they just rejected all Hindi films. Everything that came up after 2020, until like post-COVID, Pushpa was the only film that came and opened up. Every Hindi film, everybody rejected. So then I realized that, okay, this is the time for me to make a Hindi film. I don't know if I will be able to make like a Hindi film that we all celebrate. I will never be able to make a Jawan. Maybe the closest I would make is like a Sultan.
Right.
He still had some writings.
You mean the Salman Khan one?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The closest commercial film that I would make is maybe Sultan, something like that. So I see myself in that kind of a mold. So this one came up. I met this man, the guy whose life this film is based on, and he gave me a book that he has written, and I didn't read the book. So we were chatting. I mean, I wanted to find out. See, any book. I mean, it's easy to option a book to make a film, and it works everywhere. It worked all over the world. It has worked, and so I wanted to find that is there anything that is beyond the book that I can get from him. So we had a lot of conversation, and in that conversation, he basically the story of this boy who ran away from home, and then he came back, and then he made his millions, and now he has dedicated his entire life to rescuing children from the streets. It's a usual cliche story. I have nothing in it. In the conversation that followed, I kept asking him, why did you run away? He had no cogent answers to it. So in the form of conversation, once he said freedom. So it ticked a mark in me. Like freedom is that all the youngsters aspire. And there's a point in all our life where we feel that our parents doesn't know anything. We just don't understand you. You don't understand me. And they want to break away. So that one point ticked me. Then this man went to Chennai and he lived there and he met an older guy. Now when I analyze his entire life, I realize that this older man has paved some concrete in his life. That's why he became successful. That's why he became what he has become. So I asked him, have you ever met him? He said, no. So in the last many years, you become a crorepati and you have like 9,000 employees. Did you make an effort to meet him? He said, I went once, but then the Burma Bazaar that we lived all changed, so I couldn't find him. I said, if I turn this film into an unwritten letter, and through this film, if you can find that friend, will you be okay? He jumped at it. That's a role I offered him, which he didn't do. Anyway, so I said, this is great. That goes beyond the book, And there was a girl in his life, like a mama's daughter, who's like your Morappanna. She looked at him as a very, like a larger than life image, because he ran away from home at the age of 13. So she had a very fixation about him. And he didn't want to get caught up in a traditional, family relationship. I said, then I asked him, how is she, where is she now? So we are great pals now. I thought, there is a film in it, there's an unwritten letter to her as well. So for me, the film started working in multiple levels, not just his life.
Right.
So we wrote it.
Right.
We wrote it like that. So I fictionalized things. I mean, I would say like 50-60% of the stuff I took from his life, his journey, and rest I fictionalized it.
Right.
So it's a good combo of a true story and good writing and good fictional elements came together. I think I made a decent film.
Nice. So, Sofia, one thing I want to ask you is, as a producer, you've had 2 back-to-back.
She has a 100% track record.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
the first
no, but
movie.
I'm saying right now
Yeah.
there's like the 2 back-to-back with Minal Murli and RDX. Now, when you get a script, what is the first thing that you say? This box has to be ticked. We were talking about ticking boxes. So, what is the box that has to be ticked?
We will say the story to Chackochan.
See, this is what Galatta is. So,
Yeah, see, like we hear a lot of stories, like to get one is very difficult. Like I think around now we hear daily around 4 stories, hearing around 100 stories only we get at least one. So, but RDX means it didn't happen like that, that was different. So, normally when we hear the story means like we also see it in an audience perspective, like in my house we are different age categories, so we all discussed each other, and the one which we all like only we select it, like okay, this will work out. That is our confidence, but we don't know the end. When RDX, as they were saying, like it was like a surprise for everyone when it got it's a blockbuster hit. Like 90% we knew this movie will go well, but we didn't know that it will be a blockbuster, like it went out of our hands, like, like that. Because we were in big tension because we didn't get the number of theatres, we had less screens, so, and then 2 top actors movies are coming along with it. So if that goes well, again we lose more theatres. So that tension was there. But for the movie, we didn't have that much tension, yeah. Because the thing is, when we liked the content itself, this movie was more into action. So then we thought like we have to bring the best action choreographer into it. That is how we took Anbar on board. So that will make the technical side more good for the movie. And then the director means he executed it well, and he had cinema in him when he was narrating the story. Even the actions he was just showing us how he is going to execute it, like how he wants it to be executed. So and even Anbaru, like when I was talking with them, they were also telling me, see, he knows what he wants even in the action thing. So that worked out well, and the story, the formula is a normal thing we have seen in a lot of Telugu and Tamil movies. We have seen this. So only thing, the execution part should be well, and that we supported the movie very well, and that results we saw. And we know in Malayalam for a long time we have not seen these type of action movies. We have not seen.
that was the key.
And even it was like martial arts, and 2 of them were doing like. Shane's character was specialized in his kicks, and Neeraj was in nunchucks, and the other one was boxer. Yeah, Pepe was boxer. So we felt this is something different, and 3 of them coming together. But it's a big budget movie. I didn't look into the budget because I know, that we know that there is a commercial value for each actors, but they are not the top actors. So it was a big risk for me. But still, I thought we'll take this risk. Let's see, because we believed in that content, that's the thing.
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You made an action movie.
Yeah.
And you came along with another big action movie.
Yeah.
What was your conviction?
Yes.
When that's when you spend money on not on the top list, yet you make something that you believe in.
Yeah.
But for the business, you don't take the risk. No, you don't come up with Dulquer.
No, that's different.
So how did you? What was the?
Yeah, see, it's a festival, Onam. So Onam, we need more movies, not only one movie. So our audience is used to watch many movies for Onam. Even I watch 2-3 movies for Onam. That is there. So our audience has that practice there, that they watch all the movies. Onam is a festival, and they go and watch all the movies. Yeah. So I wanted my movie. It's only the production team was there. My director was very scared, He told, ma'am, please, after Onam, you release this. I said, no, I'll release this in Onam because I spent a lot. I had to get the returns.
Commendable guts,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Commendable guts.
There is also one more thing to add to that. Like, you know, if one film runs well,
Yeah.
the other film will always get an advantage.
Yeah, correct.
Because the viewing habit slowly will change.
Yeah.
This has always happened in Malayalam.
Malayalam.
Like if one film is there, if it's a super hit, the other film, even though it's an average film, it will run well.
Yeah, correct.
What
You know
do you
what
mean by
I
that? Sorry.
what I found in Malayalam audience, which I can't understand them in one level. They will enjoy one one Vijay's film or one Allu Arjun's film or a Rajinikanth film. They will give they will give full heart. There'll be like 400 theatres, 500 theatres. They'll enjoy. They'll give them crores of rupees. One Malayalam actor goes out of their expectation, they will just kill it. They will not go. They will not accept. They will not accept. It's very strange. It's very, very strange Malayali audience.
Just to go back to your point, when you say the other film also benefits, what do you mean by the other film?
See, this is about, like, you know, it's about a going habit. Like, you know, say for example in a season, like, you know, people will be choosing, like, you know, okay, we will go and watch this particular film. They will be deciding something.
Right.
If that film is good, then they will decide, okay, let's watch another film also. Like it's a kind of a mentality.
During the same season.
Habit can be cultivated.
Cultivated, yeah.
If so many movies are not faring well, then people will say, oh, why go waste our time with theatres?
Right.
So the movies are doing good, people will spend money.
Also, the main, like, you know, as everybody mentioned, like the main point, what I feel right now is, see, post-COVID, the scenario is completely different. Where, you know, where I often feel that sensibility of audience is something different right now. Where, you know, where people are not moving in the theatres, but people are always with their devices.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I go back and sit somewhere and watch, I usually go for every film. So then I see, like, you know, people want to watch everything as reels. They are always immersed into this reel kind of scenario. So that's why, you know, when you, like, I often believe that I belong to a midstream kind of a category where, you know, neither there or neither here. Like, you know, it's when I try something, like, you know, there will be like little bit of graph, ups and downs, emotional and everything. So where there the people, what they normally do is that they want to see everything in an elevated situation. Like, imagine in a reel kind of a thing. Like, let it be a YouTube reel or an Insta reel, something. Like, you know, you're watching one thing will be a content which is advertising content. Another thing will be a sensuous content. Another will be a political propaganda. Another will be a mass fight kind of a thing. Everything bombarded in 30 seconds, everything is gone into your mind. It's not edited well, but people are conceiving it.
Right.
Like,
They're joining it in their heads.
So this is the scenario what is happening inside a theatre. So they want everything. So when you write something, earlier I used to, when I edit also, there is a thing that, okay, there should be a fall here. Then only I can lift here. That thing is gone. Like when I was writing See You Soon, say making that film, I was only making with that one particular conviction that people should not touch the remote. They should not, because I often felt that, like, you know, writing for the digital is the most trickiest thing, because they have this remote where they can pause, forward, or see the ending and come back. Anything is possible there, right? So my idea was only to don't think about the remote. You focus there. If you're not understanding it, pause it and read it and then come back, like that. But don't forward it.
Right.
So this is now in cinema. So there it is not about, like, if they are not interested in that, they will go back to their devices.
Right.
They're happy.
Right. So a question to all of you. We just spoke about mass audiences coming out and watching movies, right? See, at one time, there was a space for the lack of a better word, I'm just going to say classy Malayalam cinema, right? That doesn't mean that other movies are bad or good or whatever it is, but let's just say, when you talk about, I'm talking about movies like Malayan Kunya last year, something like Neela Velicham this year, which is like based on this big hit, Bhargavi Nilayam, and of course Bashir's work and all that. You had Tangam this year, which I thought was an exceptional film, but you know, these films somehow did not connect, right? So even for connecting, it's not enough to be a good film, so to speak. What is it that the audience like really go for? Because at one time, in fact, in Tamil, without being insulting, in Tamil, when a movie was a little slow, there's one thing that says, ஐயோ மலையாள படம் போல இருக்கு. You know, this is like because the pace of Tamil films is higher, it's faster, right?
It's true, it's true.
It's so, but now there's an acceleration of pace even here. So I'm wondering about this thing that is it possible to go back to these classy films being seen in theaters? But I just mentioned these 3 films as examples, not to kind of, you know, this thing. So
as you mentioned, one film is mine only. Like Malayan Gunji, if I like the idea when it was conceptualized, it was made like that. Like, you know, it's a struggle of a person inside 40 feet. How he's climbing up to 20th feet. Like we always wanted to travel with that person. But now when I'm looking back, people wanted what is happening, like, you know, on the top.
Outside.
So the drama they want to see is outside, not about a struggle, not about an independent person's struggle. So even if we have A.R. Rahman or somebody like, you know, to give score and everything, people want that kind of a dramatic lift. So that is required.
So you're saying that had you made it like 2018,
Yeah.
maybe the
No, I have different examples. Like, say for example, Takeoff. It was made with drama beats.
right.
Huge drama beats. There were like heavy drama beats. The thing, even it was a female centric film. It was made with drama, emotions and all.
Right.
But the thing is, now when you look, when I'm coming back to Malayan Gunja, we made it like a very kind of a, as you mentioned, classy, like, you know, not niche,
Like a personal space.
personal space, like very indie nature kind of a film. But that was a misinterpretation what we had. Like, you know, we thought, okay, this pandemic had made people into a scenario where they will understand these kind of films, but they require drama. Dramatic space need not be in the way, you know, how emotions are also explored. Dramatic space is also where, you know, how a filmmaker exploits his camera.
Right.
And sound. You know,
Right,
when you
right.
look at sounding space, you know, you see a reverb everywhere. Even like, you know, silence is not accepted anymore. So there should be a, like, you know, even when I'm sitting in a theater, I'm feeling that reverb. Why is this like this? It is about, like, you know, the lack of conviction in the content.
Right.
Because to make people emerged into that, like, you know, immersed into that space, that is what is required. Even the way you choose an angle,
Right.
like, you know, what is the unusual angle here? Like, you know, how to present it differently, how to make it, you know, dramatize it through your camera. So that is a,
So let's take this person next to you.
Yeah.
If he goes back 27 years and that's the scenario that we are in today, will an actor be able to debut with a film like Anyathi Prav?
Aniti Prav will be made with a different template.
Okay.
See, if you ask me,
you're saying that the soft movie is
no,
gone.
if you ask me personally, the romance angle in RDX is more dated than Aniti Prav. If you ask me personally, but still people are liking it.
Right.
I have no offense, but I have huge regards towards the film because the director had conviction.
Right.
So
He
to
had
add to
the-
that point, yeah, sorry, yeah, please.
Yeah, please.
So community viewing is something, you know, instead of just class, I think community viewing is, even if it's an action film, it's a drama film, romance or anything like that, people just want to come and view it together. That's the thing. Instead of, irrespective of the budget, it's not just about giving the audience, when we say people need mass films or something like that, it's not just people needs mass films, it's just that we are giving them mass films. It's not that they just need community viewing films. If it's like, say, Romanjam or JJ, it's small budgeted films, or Nathan Kesood, it's all not so big budgeted film, but still it catered that space of community viewing, like comedy, or like the films that Mamuka is doing right now. He's doing a mystery thriller with his stardom. He's pulling people to theaters, like for a movie like Rorschach,
Right.
or the movies which has announced Brahma Yugam, which is a horror film. So he is like, when a star like Mamuka is doing, then people will come to theater to watch that, even though it's classy, or that horror factor will attract the people to the audience, and also with the some star like a people, something like a star who is anchoring the film.
Right.
So I think if our stars and big actors are willing to do not just massy films, but also some, you know, mix of everything, and bring audience to the theater to watch all varieties of films, not just one particular genre of films, to watch everything, for a community viewing perspective. So that's the space which we can bring the audience back to theaters in that space. But soft film, just you have said, that I don't think will
No,
work.
the main thing is like, what all films he mentioned is all genre films.
Right.
And the thing is, there should be a USP for every film to be watched in theater. What is the key USP to it?
Right.
When you write, you keep on this inciting incident. This incident keeps on changing. Earlier it used to be in the 20th minute. Now it should start in the 5th minute. Like, it's just like watching something. What is the USP? So if you ask me, like, all these films, what worked last year from Malayalam, had a brilliant USP. Take JJ Hai, take Ennatange Sood, take RDX. They had that USP. That selling point is there already. The moment you watch the trailer or the first look or something, you will get attracted or connected, saying that, okay, I need to watch this. There's something there.
So from all this, let's put this to you. Do you think the DNA of the Malayali audience has changed?
I think it's something that keeps on changing, no? Because we say like change is inevitable, and it will keep changing, whether it's something the audience wants or whether it's technology that's coming into films, or like he said, the attention span is so low because we are so much into reels. And when I personally watch reels, I see so much of content. I'm like, oh, we could have made a film out of this, but it's like a 1-minute reel now. You can't use it. So because everybody is an artist now, everybody's creating content. So that's also there. So multiple things will keep changing. It'll keep challenging us as filmmakers. But I think that's the fun part of it, no? Like how the DNA of the audience is changing, the DNA of the filmmakers will also keep changing. It'll keep evolving. What is the point if we keep making template films?
Right.
Like let's say this year 10 films worked. Next year if we think about these 10 films and start doing films, it won't be exciting anymore. So it's good that it's pushing us.
Right.
But
let's take 2018, right? Now, it's such a mega hit, and it's proved that a certain template will work. That is, you have stars, you have a series of high points and all that, and that works, right? And connected to a real thing that the people in the state experienced. Yeah. Similarly, there's an RDX template where it's a revenge kind of story. It's a template that works. Now, is there the situation? I don't want to call it danger because that means like it's a bad thing. Nothing is a bad thing here. Is there the possibility that when only a certain kind of movie keeps becoming a big hit, I'm not talking about like, does it get back the money? I'm not talking about whether it, you make it for 2 crores and it gets back 10 crores. I'm not talking about that, but like a mega hit like 2018 or RDX. Is there the possibility that that's going to be the new type of film for at least some time? That's what everybody's going to want to make.
So the theatrical experience is much thing in demand for the audience these days. If they want to come and watch it in theaters, otherwise they have other options when it comes to OTT or in the channels, TV channels and all. So if you want to attract the audience, you should treat them as your girlfriend. You should be the best version of yourself. Impress them, impress her, give her everything, the best of you, until she comes with you to your home.
Right.
So you have to be on your toes all the time. You have to give the best of yourself. You have to be the best of yourself. You have to be the best to them. Only then they will come and watch it in theaters.
So let me put that same question back to you. When you make a movie like Chaver, which is a wonderful film,
Yeah.
but it's also very stylized. It's a very particular kind of film. So what makes you say, I want to do that? Of course, there's this personal satisfaction, all that is there. But you're also saying now that you've got to think of the audience as your girlfriend. When you make a Chaver, are you thinking of the audience as your girlfriend?
Yeah, I was trying to a bit, over romantic maybe.
No, but it's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
The thing is that Chavar had a negative review during the first shows and all. After that, the second day onwards, only the opinion changed, and all the serious moviegoers actually went to watch it in theaters. Then I think the kind of expectation the people had from the director, I mean, Chinu Papachan movies that we have seen before, that also played a bit, like they expected something much more racy and much more in a fast-moving mode. That was not the kind of movie which we made, and maybe we failed in connecting that point to the audience. Maybe that backfired for the movie in the initial days.
No, there is one more point, like, how we are projecting the film in terms of a trailer and all.
Right.
Like, you can, like, say for example, all these big successful films, genuine, take for example JJ Hai. The trailer was so genuine to the film, but I felt they should have promoted Chave in that manner. Like the
That's what I
trailer
said.
of Chave.
The way we projected the movie to the audience, that was not maybe the correct way to.
You have to be honest everywhere, straight from your poster to the trailer, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a point too.
So, we are going through a terrible time of calling everything content. It's a terrible situation. When you can't call a film a content. You can walk around in a space and say, oh, this is what I've seen, it's a content. Film is not content. It's blood and sweat, nothing else. It's serious writing, it's serious work of art upon everybody who's put together, from the spot boy to the cameraman to the editor to everyone. Blood and sweat. You cannot reduce that to by calling it a content. It's a terrible, terrible situation. Especially in the last 5 years, everybody, especially the digital domain, after they have come, everything is content. I said, like, BS. This is not content, man. This is like serious work. So we now, what are we trying to race up with? We are trying to catch someone's attention. Like you said, you have to treat your audience like bringing an audience to the theatre. It's a serious business, because you have to take an appointment to book a show on a particular time of the day. You have to make an effort, book it, take a taxi, go, at that particular moment, sit there, watch it come out. You are asking someone to do that favor for you. Then you have to give them something that they don't get it at home on your device. I think that is the serious work of artists like him, all of us was working in cinema, that we need to understand the business has changed. When we make a film, we don't think about business of the film. That's what the Hollywood is best at it. They understand the business. Like when we made Slumdog, we made a very small film. There wasn't a love story when we made Slumdog. But the studio said, this is what we project. To just one small element. They took it up and put it as this boy's search for this girl, It was never there in the book. If you read Q&A, it's not in Q&A. It is not so much of a part of it when we made the film. Okay? We made the film, the edit I saw was the 8th draft of the edit. Jaiho's song was never there in the film. You know that. It was never part of the film. We shot that to Aaj Ki Raat Gana, Shah Rukh Khan ka Gana. No? The entire choreography of Jaiho that you see today is actually made to Aaj Ki Raat.
The dance song.
Yeah.
Aaj Ki, this Jaiho number, what Fernandez has done is actually to Aaj Ki Raat. We shot all that. Then after the edit, we came back. We shot for 2 more days. Rahman was so brilliant. He saw his stuff. When he came in very late in the film. He heard this and he said, now film is shot, choreographed, edited. He said, I'll do something. So he worked, he scored Jaiho to the same rhythm structure. Then we went back and tweaked the edit. That's another matter. But I'm saying, so what to project is a serious business. RDS worked because they were very, very strong about what they believed in. What works we don't know. But we write, shoot, edit, make something. How to extract one reel from it and put it out so that a fascination can be created, I think it's a separate job.
Yeah.
It's not my job. I can't do it. I miserably failed in doing that. Then I can't also sit around and say that, hey, that's not the right projection of my film. So we have to have a say, but I don't think we are the best people to do it. Like Basil said, sir, somehow make reels and beg and plead so that the audience comes in. I never expect that he will say something like that. He said, we have to get them. We have to be humble. We have to be, cajoling them. Because they have the power.
But
They are
that's
far
really
more
true
powerful
because,
situation.
like how Sir said, I'm a terrible dancer. Like I can't dance, sir. And then when Steffi came to me with Madhurana, I'm like, I can't dance. Please don't make me do that one thing. And then she's like, please, you have to do. There is a spoof dance you have to do. Then promo song to promote the film. I said, okay. Then when we came for the promotion, so we give 10 to 12 to 15 to even 30 interviews a day. That's part of our job. We'll do it. Then she's like, you know what? You'll have to dance in the reels. I'm like, no. Then and I remember distinctly dancing in this reels without knowing dance, because ultimately the only thing I want is for the audience to come and watch my film. So I'm ready to do like how he said anything,
Yeah, don't say like that, because in Ennathan case, people think I'm a good dancer, but I had to do the exact opposite thing to boo people. I mean, like the audience. So we try everything. We try every tricks of the trade. This comes in our hands and ideas.
So when you make a movie like Minal Murli, right, and it's released in OTT, there's this perception that it's a popular film. Lots of people have liked it, but you don't have any numbers as such to kind of to back it up. As a producer, as a thing, I mean, I know you've sold it, so I'm sure the numbers add up in one way. I'm talking about the viewing numbers, the viewership numbers, like what would have happened. Does that sometimes make a difference between choosing a project for OTT versus theatre?
No, from Minnal Murali's perspective, actually, we made it for the theatre.
Right,
From the very
right.
beginning, it was made for the
No,
theatre.
but I'm saying because now it was not released in theatre, you don't know the
Numbers.
Numbers, yeah.
So, but still, with the reception and everything people gave us after the release of the film, we feel like this movie would have made something.
Right.
We have a figure in our mind, right? Like movie, something of this reception have made this much of money. So maybe this movie, if it was released in theaters, would have
that is
made.
what even I thought when RDX released. I was thinking about Minnal, oh my God, if it had released in theaters, I would have made that much. That was there, but still that situation we were not able to release in theaters, and when the theaters opened, it was only 50% capacity. But still, it got a global platform. Like it reached, worldwide.
Minnal is an exception for us.
Good reception.
We are not regretting in terms of numbers or anything like that, because it just gave everything for us actually.
They
as a
told us some
producer.
25 million hours, like the first 2 weeks, like the viewing hours and all they were saying. So it was like that. Yeah.
So we had, I had to switch off my mobile and everything for at least 2 weeks when she told me I'm going to sell it to OTT. I was like, what?
I know he'll be very sad and he will not allow. I was saying, no, Basil, this is the situation. I took like more than 2 weeks to convince him and even Tovino, because the applause they get in the theaters is something different. That I experienced really in RDX. The first day when I was watching, I was thinking, oh my God, this vibe is something different. Like, so now I watch all the movies maybe the first week itself, because we get that audience vibe is very different in theaters. Like,
Right.
So
that we missed for Minnal.
But
Definitely.
on the other side, the OTT platform have marketed it like anything and took it to.
And
some
now you're
other
a
level.
global name.
We have a big exposure
definitely.
ad. So we are happy for whatever happened.
Happened
for a reason.
So Rajisha, when we're talking about all these films, right, one common thread between most of these films is that they're all predominantly male-centric films, right? I don't want to get into that, because I don't think, a film is bad because it's male-centric or female-centric or whatever it is, right? It's like, but the point is, there used to be a time when Malayalam cinema was known for like female-centric films, when actors like Manju Warrier had phenomenal career. She still has a career, a great career. But what I'm trying to say is, like, she made her career based on very, very strong kind of portrayals. Now you find that less, because of course Kolla is this, like you and Priya Warrier are the central characters, the protagonists. But we kind of the movies that become these big breakout hits are all kind of skewing one direction. What are your thoughts about that?
I think up until a time like 2018, what it did for the industry is that it gave the producers the courage to invest that much amount into a film. So regardless of whether there was
June before this?
No, yes sir. June was in 2019. So June was a huge gamble. Like and I'm very grateful that it worked in theatres. But what I'm saying is, every time a film proves, like why I say 2018 is it's such a huge budget, regardless of whether there's Tovino, Asif, or whoever in the film. It's still a huge budget to pull off. But when the producer decides, okay, I'll invest this money, and the film works, it paves a way for others to, you know, make such heavy budgeted films, like how RDX or Minil or everything is happening. So similarly, when I don't want to say female oriented, but like how we say, with a female lead leading the film, if it works, if and at all it works, what will happen is it'll you know, lead the way for others to make those kind of films. So yes, there is this constant effort to make it happen, to do different things, and I really hope that we also will get to do great action. Like I was so happy when I saw Darshana doing action in Jai Jai Jai. I remember calling her on the phone, and I think I spoke to her for an hour, because we are like exchanging this mutual happiness that, you know, one of us got to do a film with an action, you know, and it worked. I know equally the credit goes to Basil, but then it's equally shared. The credit is equally shared. But most of the times when there is a film with, let's say, a male star and a female star, the you know, credit automatically goes a little more towards the male star. That's there. That's how the industry is. That's how the market is, and I realize that. But I'm also happy that there are still producers who are ready to invest in films, regardless of who is playing the lead. Because the content, or the content, by content I mean the story, is relevant and it's good. Yeah, again I have to say it's, but you know what I mean. The script is really good. That's why they're investing.
Right.
And yes, like once in a while when June works out, or like how Madhura Manohara Moham worked out this year, it's getting me more films with good scripts which can be invested here. You know, there is, like how we say business, there is a satellite, there is OTT, there is that, this, and all that is happening. So yeah, like how we saying, there is this creative circle. Similarly, there is a business circle also happening. Yeah. So I think it has to go hand in hand.
Right. So that's the
I
thing.
hope an RDX will happen with 3 girls.
3 women, right? It's like Charlie's Angels type of
Charlie's
thing.
It should happen. It
No,
should happen.
irrespective of male or female doing
Yeah.
it, just like coming to the other point, if the movie is very entertaining enough for the mass audience coming to the theater, then it will work
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
Right.
Any day it will work.
Right,
But
no,
just like JJ.
I think that's what even Jai 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 is, because when you say a one line, it says it's a movie about domestic abuse. But that's not the movie at all, because it's a very entertaining movie in a way, you know, because that's the thread of it. But the way it's presented is like, you know, that minute when Darshana gives the kick, I was in the audience, and like the audience is like explosion, like like, you know, one of those Hollywood movies where a tidal wave happens or some massive special effect happens, you know, because that's not something that they were prepared for. Why was she watching the videos? Because of this, and that kind of gave that. So I think maybe, is that like something we can end this on, saying that yes, maybe there is a way to project serious themes, but if you kind of lighten them up or present them in a way that is a little less serious, I don't know.
Like more commercial, and maybe we can say, but with the same genre, just like Mahesh hadn't said, like genre films are
my films are always depressing. Even my kids, like you know, why can't you make? Even after watching Romanjam, she was telling me, why can't you make silly films? Why are you making some? Like, you know, like I was like, she's 8 years and she's just telling me, okay, I understand, okay, I'll try. Other than that, I can't tell anything. Like, I will try.
For the time being, maybe we all have to give that, instead of following a trend, maybe we have to try to create a trend. That's something which, like, not just a movie like Romanjam, not like a movie like RDX, or we have to create a movie like Romanjam, not like Romanjam. We have to create Romanjam first. For that, so that's what the challenge we all filmmakers have to take, as an actor, also a director, whoever. What every technician have to make that call of something, what this subject can attract the audience to the theater. So for that matter, maybe we have to set aside our artistic intentions or some compromising our sensibility to bring the audience to the theater, to play the business side as well of the film. So that's how I think we can go about it, like, instead of just applying just thinking people needs only these kind of films, just give every film but more entertaining value to it and bring the people to the theater. maybe they will come for everything, irrespective of male or
entertainment
female.
has.
But is she willing to produce every
Yes.
film? That
No,
What? I didn't get
is she willing to produce every kind of film? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
There's a small definition for what Basil mentioned. What the term entertainment. Entertainment doesn't mean it should be like laughter or.
It's engagement.
It should be engaging. That's the factor.
Yeah,
That
all the
engage.
movies that we mentioned, like, whether it's Jai Hai or RDX or 2018, each of the movies is different.
Different.
I think 2018 is more of a survival thing. RDX is a mass commercial thing. Jai Hai is more the humor thing. So, the entertainment can be in any genre, any of subjects.
Yeah, all these were different subjects. Yeah.
It's more challenging and very tricky these days. but-
Actually, we don't know what to do, but we will give our best. That's only thing.
Yeah.
That's a good note to close
That's what
this
we're
on.
trying
So,
also.
Any closing thoughts?
Entertainment. But we
Engagement.
don't know what it is. We don't know how to arrive at it. Like he said, filmmakers are very scared of silences,
Yeah.
Silence is something that you arrive at. Like he said, cliche. Cliche works. It has to work. That's why it is a cliche. It has to work, but you have to prep it.
Present it in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, you have to arrive at it. That is what serious thought that goes behind it.
Right.
So entertainment can be anything. We don't know what we don't have any codified idea about what it is actually about. Some works, some doesn't work.
So
Out of 200
But we
films,
pray it'll
18
all
films are
work.
working. Huh?
great.
But we pray it'll all work,
So,
We
yeah.
I don't
actually
think prayers
genuinely-
can work.
No, my thing is we genuinely hope that it'll all work because ultimately, like, we are all giving our everything to that one particular,
No,
work of art that we
I've been calculating this thing, like, say for example, 200 films are releasing a year. Say for example, like an average cinegoer can only watch 20 films a year.
Yeah.
So we are all struggling to be within this 20.
Heard. Yeah.
That's the struggle. And out of the 20, only 5 will be super duper
Duper hits.
hits.
I think
Mahesh, it's a terrible situation.
I think that's why he's become an actor.
It is. It's actually
I think acting
death
is easy
knell
job.
written.
It's
Not
just
that
the
easy,
situation contributes
but
to my direction.
more
maybe.
easy than direction.
Easier, yeah.
I'm kidding you. Sorry, you were saying something there.
So I was saying, like he mentioned, 220 films I think last year we made. Out of it, we have like under 15 films. And out of the 15 films, we have like 5 to 7 films. So like big hits. So we are talking about, in terms of percentage, we're talking about 7% success rate.
Right.
5 to 7%. Which industry in the world will sustain with 7% success rate? Nothing. So we are actually tolling the death knell. Exactly what happened to Hindi cinema will happen to us. Not in a very distant future, unless and until we are careful.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's end this on a positive note.
The Americans, the way the Americans came, the way the Hindi film producers are coming to Kerala. Just watch out.
So thanks everyone. This has been a great discussion, very entertaining discussion. Lots of Galatta happened, as everyone said. So thank you so much, and hope you all have a wonderful 2024.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank
Same
you.
to
Thank you.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
Join the team which values you and your thoughts hiring now.